Okay, guys, I'm back, and the glue was pretty decent, but I don't like the color of it. I'm trying to get like a yellowish, goldish colored glue. You know, I've made a lot of black, pine pitch, and it works great. But I want to make a golden color. I've seen it, and I want to try it. So I'm just adding more pine sap and a little bit more Osage orange dust, and I'm not adding any more rabbit poop. So we'll heat that up, and we'll see how that works. So, all right, a little more Osage here, and we'll mix this up real quick. Remember to not grab anything with your bare hands. Safety first, guys. Okay, let's start mixing this guy up. I put it a little hotter than it was. It was very soupy, I guess is the word I'm looking for, before. So I'm hoping to get that. I'm hoping to get a different consistency out of it now. I'm feeling like it's really thick this time. I might have to cut some of this out of here and change it. And there's a chunk right there I probably should have pestled down first. Matter of fact, I'm going to take that out. Leave it sitting here. That's just a big chunk of pine sap. And let's see if we can't get this sucker done before I run out of time on the camera here. Turn up the heat a little bit more. I don't know how they get that golden colored stuff. It'd be nice to make it, but I don't think I can. So basically what I'm doing is I'm turning up the heat and stirring this stuff. Sorry about having to make so many parts. That last one would have been the end, but the pizza delivery guy showed up, and my son was hungry. All right, we're gonna let this cook for just a second here, and turn that heat down just a little bit. And let me throw my son some piece of pizza real quick. Look at that, buddy. Look at that. Yeah, man. There's some wings. This is cheesy bread. Here's your pizza that you wanted. It's the Hawaiian pizza. And then that one over there is pepperoni. Uno momento. Here, you want to go sit and watch Batman? Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, come on over. All right, now this should be ready. The heat is definitely substantial. Yeah, definitely, it's getting close. You don't want it to boil. When you boil it is when you start to cook the turpentine out of it. And I'm doing this inside, so you definitely don't want to have turpentine fumes in your house. But not that it would probably hurt you. It's a very small amount. But number two, and first and foremost, is you don't want to cook all the turpentine out of the glue, because that's what keeps it from setting up too quickly. Alright. Well, I like the consistency of it now. Ooh, it is flammable and it will catch on fire. So if you can, keep it off the bottom of the pan, I'd advise that. Give it one last good heating, and then we're going to pull it off of there. And bring it over to this one and let it cool. Now, here's the key. As this cools, it is imperative that you have these sticks ready ahead of time. These little sticks that you sharpen on the ends, have them ready ahead of time. And what you do is, as it cools, you get it on there like that, and then as it cools, you just kind of roll it, and it'll stick to the end of the stick, As you can see here how it's done. And you continue to do that, and it gets larger and larger, you know, and you have a big glue ball on the end of it. And then you use that to haft all your arrowheads, your points, your feathers, your, you know, whatever you want to use it for. Oh yeah, this is going to be a good glue. See the working time I have? See, it's still very soft. That's what you want. A lot of times what happens when you first start trying to make pine pitch is you make it too brittle, and it becomes like glass, and it hardens up within seconds. And you can't move a point around if it does that. You can't get your point situated properly, so you end up having to work with everything burning hot, and you end up burning your hands. This is still not set up, and it's been like, you know, see? I mean, it's still not set up, and it's been quite a little bit of time here. And that's what I've been trying to get, is a glue that won't set up immediately on me. And it looks like I might have done it. Still not set up. It's getting there. It's starting to get hard. But it is not set up. It's starting to, though. Right now it's starting to really harden, which is good. Grab some more. Definitely don't want this stuff getting stuck to your fingers when it's in its you know, hot tar stage. I'll tell you what, it burns. I've had it done. And that's a pretty good little glue stick right there. And this will haft probably 10 arrowheads, or glue, or whatever you want to call it. It'll glue about 10 arrowheads. And you can do them however you want. Some guys like to make nice little round balls on the end. I like to make kind of a longer one because I can use it that way. But it's to each his own. It's preference. Nothing more. And just like before, you just keep adding it on there and it just keeps getting bigger. And then you just keep getting it bigger and bigger. I may not even need these other 3 sticks, but it's good to have them ready in there. My last couple of batches that I made, I actually used toothpicks, and it came out great. Now the cool thing about using a skillet is, again, it gives you more working time. That little miniature skillet is made out of cast iron, and it remains pretty hot. And because of the fact that it remains pretty hot, it allows you to, you know, get the glue ball on the end of the stick basically formed and worked down how you want it in between adding new glue. And this is how you add new glue, is you just scoop in there. And if it hardens inside your container that you're using, whether it be a cut-off soda can or, you know, a seashell, you can always just stick it. If you're doing this by the fire, you don't want to put it in the fire. You want to put it near the fire and let the fire slowly heat it up. Yeah, and this will give you plenty of time to make your glue sticks. This one's coming out really nice. Again, it's going to be a black glue stick. I just can't seem to make the gold stuff myself. It's called Cutler's resin. You can find it as Cutler's resin. Online, you can buy the stuff. So there's a good glue stick right there. That's a good pine pitch glue stick. As you can see the size of it to my hand. Pretty good size. See if we can get any more of this stuff without messing the glue stick up too bad. Nope, it's starting to pull the glue off the stick. When it starts doing that, your this is heated up too much, or is cooled off too much. So slide it over here. You want to try to get all the glue out of it that you can. I also would recommend, if you're going to use something like I'm using, like a skillet of any kind, even though that one's a tiny one for an ashtray, designate it to that and only use it for that. Obviously, you can never cook food in this again, or you'll be eating turpentine. So I'm going to go ahead and switch down to another glue stick while we're at this, because Oh yeah, it's getting down real low. There's not much left, and I'm not going to be able to really add too much more to that big one. So I'll make a small glue stick here out of this. And again, you don't want to heat it all the way up to boiling again. You just want to get it to where you can get the glue that you've made out of the get it all over to one side and get it out. So, which is exactly what I'm doing here. And it's pretty much impossible to get it all out of there. Sharpening the stick over to one side helps a lot because it makes your stick almost like a spatula. And I'm actually going to see if I can't just put this on this other glue stick here. Oh wait, I don't have a tiny little one and then one giant one. There we go. Added it right on, no problem. Let's heat it back up. And you can see it just melting. Alright, scrape it all over to one side again. Okay, and that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of making pine pitch. There's a big old chunk of rosin, but see, that's just too much resin, so I'll throw it in here with the leftover rabbit poop and ash, and that can be used at a later date. So there it is, guys. There's a good pine sap, and if you want it to look smooth over the top, it's not necessary, but if you like it to look smooth over the top, you can hold it over the stove and or fire and let it just kind of heat up on the outer edges, on the surface, I guess is the way to say that. And once it heats up on the surface, you can kind of roll it back together. It becomes like Play-Doh, and you can make it a smoother look. Might hold together better on the stick that way too. And then the way this is used is very simple. The Native Americans would have probably did this next to a fire as they were making their arrows, and they just basically held this over the fire, and then held their arrow over the fire, held the arrowhead over the fire, scraped some of this into the end of the foreshaft where they're going to put their arrowhead, and then held their arrowhead over the fire, got their arrowhead hot, and this back over the fire and got it hot, and then stuck it in there, and then it holds it tight. Then what I do is I wrap sinew on it and get it all finished, and then I take the pine pitch, sometimes even before the sinew, and I'll fill in all the cracks with it, and then smush it all down and get it flat, hold it over, smush it down, get it flat, and then put the sinew on and then put it over the sinew again, just so it's a solid, hardcore binding bunch of goodness. And often I do it with a lighter. But there you guys go. I hope this was educational for you. As you can see, if you do it properly, it stays malleable for a long time. And that's what you want. Anyways, I'm Jesse Rush with Flinga Bows, and this is how to make pine pitch glue. I hope you guys learned a lot. I hope you're interested, and I hope you like and subscribe to my videos. I just burnt the crap out of myself, and that's why you need to be careful. See that, guys? Yeah, that hurt really bad. Probably going to take skin off when I get this stuff off me here. Woo, that one hurt. God, that hurt bad. That's why you need to be careful, guys. Hope you see that. Typically, you want to let it kind of cool off and then touch it like that real quick before you go rubbing it real hard. And I didn't do that. I thought it was ready, and I slapped my palm on it and really just burnt the crap out of myself. Anyway, whew, that hurts. Alright, I'm Jesse Rush of Flinga Bows, and there's how to make pine pitch. Be careful when you do it, obviously, or you can burn the crap out of yourself. All right, guys, take it easy.